Here we are in my garage. My car is here, my daughter is asleep inside, so it's a perfect opportunity for us to have our Deep and Meaningful, one of our DNMs, one of our amazing videos that are luckily sponsored by BetterHelp, which I will mention more as we go on, but the reason I can bring you this content is BetterHelp sponsors it, and they are lovely for doing so. Right, let's get into the video. This video is about your questions. Feminine energy, relationships, all of it is going to be addressed in this video. The reason I'm on my phone is because I am pulling up my questions from you, which we need to answer. Here they are. Hi, let's go through them and see how long my daughter sleeps in the car. She always falls asleep in the car now. She used to hate the car, but here we are. We moved. We feel better about life in general. Cheers. How has parenting changed your relationship? Parenting has changed my relationship first in 2020, and then it changed my relationship again in 2023. Parenting, look, it changes your relationship in the form of the fact that you start to really I respect my partner, my husband, so much more than I did before. Him as a father is everything that I've ever dreamed about having as a child. I didn't grow up with my father as a child, and just watching him parent has healed so many parts of me that I knew needed it, but it's just been an incredible journey to watch him as a parent. I respect him more, I value him more, but we have very little time together. We are not like passing ships in the night, but we are like both running like hamsters on wheels, trying to look after the two children, trying to make it all happen. So, but there is something about it that's, you know, people always romanticize romance, but I like to romanticize life, because this is a very short period of time that we are going to be in this situation together, him and I. I think the most beautiful thing is to have a husband or a wife or whoever it is for you, and both equally love a child together and want the best thing for them. And when you call them and you're like, oh my God, little Timmy said something, you know they're equally as excited, and there's no one in this world who's as excited as you. So if anything, it's heightened my relationship with him. I know a lot of people experience the opposite of, you know, feeling like they're not connected to their partner anymore, but I don't feel that. I feel quite the opposite, so that's nice. How do you incorporate self-love practices in day-to-day life? Your life and your self-love is going to change at different times in your life, okay? For me at the moment, self-love is the publication of my book. Self-love is putting myself first when it comes to doing things I want to do for work. It does not come in the form of, I don't know, nails and a spray tan, although that would be nice to have a spray tan, wouldn't it? But self-love for me comes in the form of putting myself first when it comes to work. I've always wanted to do the job I do, and as much as I know that it would be beneficial for my children to have their mum 24/7, I give myself time to do my job and to write my book and to do the launch event and to do all these things and create product for things I believe in, because I believe what I'm creating is important. So that's my form of self-love. My form of self-love is not bubble baths or manicures at the moment. It was that at a certain time, but not right now. So it just depends what it is. And if you need that self-love, you need to prioritize it. But understand, it's not always the frilly and fluffy things. How to keep the black cat energy going after kids. This is a really funny one, because everybody asks me about this black cat energy. But some people have a response in saying, oh, we don't like the black cat energy theory. But anyway, black cat energy is being chased by your man, okay? Because you're a black cat, you're like, you know, independent, you're doing your own thing. I don't really understand why people confuse having kids as something that makes your feminine energy go down. If anything, we need to understand and celebrate the fact that femininity and being a feminine woman and being a black cat or being a woman that men chase is partially to do with having kids too. Like, you can have children and be feminine. The two go together if you think about it. It's not like it stops. And I think maybe I come from an Eastern European culture, and back when my mum had kids, she had me at 20 kids, one kid, 20, and everybody did at the time. So there's something to be said about the fact that having a child and being desirable weren't mutually exclusive. So for me, being a black cat and being a mama cat is not different. Like, you can still be sexy or sensual, or the essence of being a black cat, and I would put it this way, is being hard to get but being easy to be around. So if you prioritize yourself, if you put yourself first, if you make yourself happy first, then you can put into other people. Never go out of your way. Especially as a mother, you need to replenish yourself first to make other people happy, because what makes us feel really cornered and what makes us feel really unhappy in life is when we put our family first and we become so depleted, so energetically drained, and then we resent them and hate them for it. That is the big problem. So make sure that you're putting yourself first, even with kids. How long did you date your husband before marriage? I met him in 2012 in September, and I got engaged in 2013. Yeah, and we got married pretty soon after, so yeah. Do you have a helper around the house? Listen, you know how you guys watch my content or listen to my stuff because you feel I've got a handle on maybe interpersonal relationships, male and female dynamics. I have read and listened about male-female dynamics a lot. I feel like I've got something to give. If there was a channel on finding helpers, nannies, and help in general, I would be watching that. I think it's easier to find a man than it is to find a nanny. It's really hard. I find it really hard to, one of two things, find somebody who I feel confident in leaving my children around. Because who is that person? Like, how do you know them? How do you know that they're of sound mind, that they're nice? Like, how do you know from just meeting them? But secondly, availability, timings, can they not? When you do find someone, then they can't. It's just hot mess express. Somebody said having a child is like having your heart walk outside your body. And the question is, it's like, who would you trust your heart with? It's like a vital organ, So I have somebody who I really, really like. Unfortunately, she can only do it once a week. But that is when, unlike today, I usually record my podcast. But, my kids still want me primarily. Why, when you like someone, you're the golden retriever, and when you don't, you're the black cat? I think when you like somebody, you are the golden retriever because you start going outside of your authenticity in order to impress them. And that is why the golden retriever is unattractive when it's a woman being the golden retriever or the chaser. We are unattractive as the chaser because we have a lot of desperate and anxious energy when we like someone and we start to chase them. It's much better to let him be the chaser because it brings out positive masculine energy traits like pursuing you, like planning dates, like creating things, and we find that attractive. Whilst when you like a guy and you start doing your masculine traits, which is the golden retriever traits, it makes you unattractive to him. That is why you must wrestle yourself emotionally and not be the golden retriever and keep being the black cat, because what is attractive about a woman is her feminine essence, which she must maintain to keep being attractive to him. So it is annoying, but it is the truth that you must maintain your black cat chaste energy when you like a guy, because he's going to want to win you over, and if you close the gap, it's going to ruin it. How can I lose the fear of becoming a mother? You can lose the fear of becoming a mother by having a child. That is the only way you can lose your fear of anything. You can't lose a fear of anything until you walk through it, straight through the fear and into the unknown. I was, if you speak to my closest friend, petrified of becoming a mum before I became one, and I will tell you that it was both valid and completely invalid at the same time, in terms of the fact that I was worried about the wrong things. It's not something that you can experience until you experience it. It's the most pivotal, life-changing experience, and I'm not saying that if you don't have children, you can't have pivotal, life-changing experiences, but this is one that you have to do to understand. It's one of the 3 pivotal relationships in life. You as a child to your parents, that formally shapes you, no matter what that relationship was. Even if you never had parents growing up, or even if you were very close to your parents, it shapes you. You always refer to your parental relationship in some way. then it's your spousal relationship, or the partner that you might have, or partners that you might have, and then it's you as the parent to your children. So it's one of those 3 formative relationships, and it changes you as a human being. Also, a friend who's close can change you too. So the fears you have are not founded because you have no idea what that experience is like. It's like being scared to have parents. Yes, it's scary to love, and it's scary to, like I said, it's like your heart walking outside your body. But if you are scared of motherhood in terms of free time, in terms of body changes, in terms of all of that jazz, if that's what you mean, the societal worries about motherhood, I will tell you this. Me personally, I have had more career success, more knowledge of myself, more connectedness to who I am after having children. But that might not be you. I'm just saying me. So if you feel like you're going to lose yourself or lose some part of you or lose something, then that might happen. I don't know. But I was worried about that. I was worried about body changes. Not that I even had like a body that I was like so in love with, like, oh, I've got the perfect body and it's going to get ruined, but you just get worried. I like my body now more than I did before. I'm not saying it's better, but I like it more now. My career is 500 times better than it was. I'm a person who I've decided gets motivated by these tiny beings who I need to take care of. I will move mountains. Trust and believe I will move mountains to make these people happy. I don't feel the same way about myself. You need to look back onto how you were raised and what motivational aspects you have. Me, I do a lot for other people in terms of not in a martyrdom way, not like me, I do a lot for other people, but what motivates me is others. Some people are motivated by self. I'm motivated by others. So career-wise, I've done way more since having my son because he came first in 2020. I have more grounded energy. I feel I've got more to say. It's hard. I would like to go to the bathroom by myself. It's scary, but it's worth it. Life in general, here I go getting real and dark again. Life in general is scary. It's so fleeting and so quick, but I want to experience it to the fullest. So don't be scared. If you want it, do it. If you don't. Brings me on to the sponsor of this video. I am so grateful for BetterHelp for sponsoring this video because it allows me to create more content and feed these children that I'm passionately in love with. But honestly, thank you, BetterHelp. If you want to check out BetterHelp, it's a platform whereby you can meet a therapist quickly. You can match with someone usually within 48 hours. And the best part is you can change that person, because I've had therapy in real life and it's a very awkward experience when you feel like you don't gel. And that's the most important thing about therapy, is that you gel. When you need to switch or you feel like you don't want to go to them anymore, that's super awkward. I hate that. But with BetterHelp, you don't have to do that. You could just seamlessly switch and they will match you with somebody else. You don't have to leave your house. Talking about kids and leaving the house and that being difficult, you don't have to leave your house. It could be on your phone. It could be a phone call. It could be, any way that you want it. It can happen. So use my code for a discount on your first month. I highly recommend it. If you've got thoughts like worries about motherhood, what really helps, especially if you're a woman, is talk therapy. When you talk, it comes out. We used to sit around fires together as communities of women, apparently, and as we talk, we can go through things and make decisions by talking. So check out the link in the description, and thank you BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Ooh, I love this one. How to get him to understand that this is the last chance without sending him paragraphs. Literally the opposite of what you just said. The way you get somebody to understand that this is the last chance with you is not by sending paragraphs. It's what you do, not what you say. If you truly felt that this was the last chance and you are bored by someone, which I told you 100 times, again and again and again, if you really want him to change, you need to be bored of him as opposed to engaged by his behavior, enraged by his behavior, and like reactive to his behavior. You need to get bored. That's what makes men change, okay? Lack of energy towards them, lack of interaction with them, disregard to them. That's what makes them change, okay? Because wherever energy flows, they feel is still worth it. Sometimes men do things just to get a reaction out of you. Trust and believe, okay? And what I'm saying is, if you want him to know that this is the last chance, you need to disengage. No long paragraphs. You need to say, look, this behavior has really made me feel put off by you. I'm pretty much done. Happens again, I'm completely done. And you need to not engage in that. You need to not interact with him much. You need to not give him more than he's giving you. He needs to know that he's going to lose you if he keeps doing it energetically. But we as women do the opposite. We get engaged, we really get attached to this idea of what he's doing. We start micromanaging him, controlling him, mothering him. He's sitting there rubbing his hands. I've really got her now, because he has got you. If you're riding parent grass, you're not done. You're very much not done. He's very much winning. What to do if a guy constantly teases you like a brother? I've tried ignoring and asking nicely. Okay. Listen. If it's hurting your feelings genuinely, and I always say be honest to your feelings if you're in the feminine, and he says, look at you, you Teletubby, right? Let's say he's teasing you like a brother. Maybe that's the dynamic he has with his sister. You've tried ignoring it, which is what I would advise first, but you've done that. You've tried asking nicely. I wouldn't advise that, but you've tried that. The next thing is to get genuinely hurt. Oh, look at you, Teletubby. You look at him, and you look down and you're hurt. Maybe you cry. Whatever it takes. Get very upset. Get upset. Don't yell at him, but go sit in the corner for a while. Be like, I don't want to go out today. You've said I look like a Teletubby, and now it's upset me. Be genuine to your feelings. If he's just somebody who likes to do brotherly jabs and you don't like it, he'll stop. And if he's a mean mama jamma, then maybe he's not the one for you. How to motivate my husband to want more in life, ambitions, dreams, achievement. Ready to move out, same person, to an actual home, tired of apartment life, how to make it happen. If you are married to someone you like and you want to motivate them, you need to redirect their ambitions to yours. So if they're an ambitious person and they've got ideas, you need to question why they have those ideas, as opposed to going, no, I don't want you to buy this car, I want this car, or I don't want that apartment, I want a home, like she mentions. You need to start inspiring them. How to inspire somebody. You need to make him think it's his idea. You need to be like, what kind of home would you want? You always seem like a guy who would buy a home. You would be so amazing as the man of the house. I don't know. As corny as that sounds to you, it sounds corny. But it's not corny to men. They buy that stuff. They really believe it. You need to start saying, oh, remember you said you wanted that. Didn't you mean you actually wanted a home? You need to start redirecting his ideas. You need to also start celebrating what he does do. Oh my God, I can't believe you got this apartment for us. I love this apartment so much. I feel so lucky to have someone who's such an amazing provider. Corny, he'll buy it. If you make him feel loved and appreciated for what he's already done, he's going to want to do more. Hi, we're back in the house because she had it with the car. I'm going to answer you a few more, and then we're going to go and play and have lunch. Do you want cauliflower or something? Cauliflower soup? Do you believe in astrology, and what can you say about it? I believe in astrology in terms of, I believe in the solar system, and I believe in planetary movement, and I believe that, the moon controls the water, so it controls our body, so there's some movement in the planets and all that stuff. I believe in astronomy. I believe that there's a science to everything. I don't believe that when you open a newspaper and you see Leo, it says anything about you, especially about the fact that there's the tropical signs, in which I'm a Virgo, and then the sidereal, in which I'm a Leo. So am I a Virgo or a Leo? You tell me. Then there is the moon sign. In the sidereal, my moon sign is Aquarius. In the tropical, it is Pisces. Which one am I? Am I a Virgo Pisces? Am I a Leo Aquarius? What am I? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Little baby. I was coming up here and I just wanted to tell you with that question about being fearful of motherhood. Don't be. Society has made you fearful, and it is bloody hard, but all things that are worth it are hard, okay? You can do it. You can do it. I wanted to make this whole platform, the Being Her platform, my book, everything, to celebrate femininity and what it means to be a woman. And yes, you might not be able to work a 9 to 5 like a man, but you are different than a man and better than a man in some ways. How to be okay with spending time alone when you're codependent. Honey, the irony of this, and you also asked how to fall in love with yourself. Number one, and I don't mean to say this in any kind of upsales marketing way at all, it's only because I put a bloody year of my life into writing my book exactly about this subject. But read my book, The New Rules. and you should read my book too, The New Rules, as a bedtime story. But read it, because literally that is what it's about. When you're anxious, when you're codependent, it's vital to fall in love with yourself. And I used to be that. That used to be me. I completely understand where you're coming from. It's such a painful position to be in, because you have time and you've got free time and you're there and you're like, I don't want to be with myself. I get joy from being with other people. But trust and believe that there are ways and there are processes to do it. I can't possibly go into it in this video, but watch my videos on anxious attachment and read that book, because it will help you. You need to fall in love with yourself and spend time with yourself as if there's two of you, as if you're spending time with yourself as the child version of you. It will be pivotal and life-changing. Ways men test women and why they do so. Men test women because they want to be with someone who is hard to get, because that gives them as a man value in the fact that they acquired you and the acquisition has happened and they've got the best of what they could get, okay? So they test to see if you've got boundaries, because if you don't have any, then you are low value to them. Ironically, they test to see how valuable you are, because they want someone who is valuable, because then they feel like a winner in life. They want the fast car, they want the big house, they want the valuable woman, and they test you to see how valuable you are. How to absolve generational poverty and build sustainable wealth. I'm a single mother. I come from a single mother family. My mum was, my grandma was, my grandfather tragically died, my mum divorced. So I get you. We didn't grow up wealthy at all. I didn't grow up wealthy at all, far from it. My daughter is rolling. What is happening? You understand that your power lies in your femininity. It's not a 9-to-5. It's not becoming a lawyer. Because you are a single mother, you don't have the time for that. But there are, and I feel like I want to make more content about it. There are ways in which you can use your time to create money. Essentially, it will probably be something that you're good at, monetizing it via creating content around it, and then creating courses or teaching other people, because your femininity lies in the fact that you can create. So you also need to break down barriers and ideas you have around poverty and the fact that you will be poor. You need to create an abundant mindset. You need to do things that you see as rich people doing, like, honestly, look at this. Would you like a video about abundance and creating abundance? If so, let me know. I'll see you in the next one.